Hey everybody, welcome back to another AMA with Blockstar. Today we have the pleasure of taking a deep dive into the Green Life Energy Project. Today we got with us John. He is the CEO and sounds like the founder of Green Life Energy. So welcome, John. If you want to take the time to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into crypto, and then we'll get right into your project.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me here, man. I'm John Wood. I'm the founder of Green Life Energy Global. I'm from Scotland originally, living down England now. But I got into crypto about a year and a half ago now. So my journey's been a year and a half, not very long, but I was excited when I wanted to get involved in the blockchain technology and see what I could do in amongst real utility. So that's kind of what made me get into it in the start.
Sure. Now, is this your first project in the space?
The, yeah, this is my very first project, very first one, mate. I've never done a project before, and obviously people be saying, "Oh, wow, he's new to it." But that's the thing about life in general. If you want something, you can't just sit and watch it because it'll never come to you. You've got to go and get it. Go chase what you want to do. Always drive to be the best and get the best.
Sure,
So that's kind of
absolutely.
what my philosophy is.
Absolutely. Well, we know that some of your other team members that you wanted to have in here aren't in here. You want to kind of give us a brief introduction about those guys, their names and who they are and what they do inside the project,
Yeah,
just to kind
so
of give some background.
apologies.
So we've got. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we hear you just fine.
So we've got Sadiq. Sadiq, if I pronounce your name wrong, Sadiq, I apologise if you listen to this. I think it's Abu Bakr. And Sadiq is working with our partnership side of things. He works with Elliot. I think it's Elliot. If I say your name wrong, Elliot, I apologise. I think it's Groski. And they work together. And they've been in the partnership side now since Sadiq's been here since the start. Elliot joined, and he's been working there for the last few months. And we've also got Tulu. Now, Tulu and Sadiq are from Nigeria, so they're quite friendly. They speak on a daily basis, going through the project, seeing what the best ways to go with things. We've got Matt Trumbull, who does the video. We've got Huffy. His name is Chris, but we call him Huffy. He's involved in the marketing side of things and the project management of things. And we've got Brian Green, and Brian Green is here. He's the CMO, and he's been here since day one. And Brian, like I say, Brian and Sadiq have been here since day one. So is Tulu. We've also got Chris. Chris is a YouTuber that does a lot of YouTube work for us. He's done a few videos, and he's looking to push our content out daily. He's not really done much lately because he's had a new kid and he's been busy with family and stuff. But the team we've got now are something special. They're there. They've been there since the beginning, most of them, and then they're going to be there for the long term, definitely.
Sure. So, who is the developer behind the project that actually does all the contracts and everything within Solidity, and the branding part of it?
So for the dev itself, we use subcontract devs, but the devs that we pick, because for the very first contract we had a guy called Safe Moonmark. He was called Moonmark, and he developed the first contract for GLE. And obviously, we went through a stage where it wasn't sustainable for the company. It wasn't good for growing my vision for the company and what we wanted to build. So we had to relaunch, and we relaunched through another dev called Jura. And this guy here is unreal. He has got a project now that's been going over a year, and he makes things so easy. He actually did our migration by himself, the whole thing. He made it so easy, man. He was there from the start until we got it finished. But he made the job so much easier. For branding itself, now for branding itself, it's got to be, you can't have one person doing the branding. You've got to work with teams, etc. So we use a lot of outside crypto marketing. You can't just rely on crypto marketing to push your brand because you're only going to get the crypto side. You've got to be dealt with outside of crypto. So, that'll bring me on to another thing later on. We're actually in a magazine today. So again, we're using outside marketing things and projects and products to push this idea and push this whole vision of this company.
Sure. So, oh, sorry, guys. Hang on one second.
So, right, mate.
It sounds like Amazon showed up. I guess my wife must have ordered a bunch of stuff here. I'm working from the house today. Just to go back to the developer and everything. So this is actually a V2 of the same project. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, man.
So
Yeah,
it looks like
it
you
is.
guys changed websites and all that stuff. It looks like you guys kept the logo. Is that correct? But you changed all the other social media accounts. Is that correct?
Yeah, we basically just did all we did was we just did a complete rebrand, brand new contract. Everything was brand new to make it sustainable because the old the old contract we had wasn't sustainable at all. So we created a brand new contract for GLE, for the new name, for the new launch, to make it something special for the future. Sorry, I do apologise that. So yeah, it was a case of making it sustainable for the future of the company, and we had to do that. Otherwise, things wouldn't have moved as much as we wanted them. Now we've got buys and sells, taxes going back to the LP, taxes going back to marketing wallet. So it's helping out a lot of stuff because before we had this, we were self-sustaining ourselves. Everything was self-funded. Everything.
Right.
So now it's took a bit of weight off our shoulders, man. And I'm sure everybody can appreciate when you're self-funding a project, it's not easy, it's not easy at all. So us getting taxes back to certain things like the marketing wallet, the LP, really has helped this project tenfold, man. And it's just helped so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to go back onto that point and everything. So the original website that you guys had audited through Tech Rate and everything, and all the socials that you were using, those have all now changed, and you have new socials. Is that correct? And a new website address
Yeah,
from
everything has been complete. Yeah, sorry, everything has been completely rebranded, David. Everything, the whole lot. We wanted a fresh start for the brand new contract to make it something special. So we
Yep.
just did. We did what we needed to do to get things moving.
Absolutely. Well, just so you know, when we bring projects in and everything, we go through the entire process. We go and look at where you're at now. We do a complete audit internally of
That's
your
amazing.
project
Yeah,
before we actually have you come on. That way we can take a deep dive, and we've already taken the time to research your project and everything because we really want to deal with legit projects that are out there in the space
yeah.
trying to do
Well, I
some great
appreciate it,
things.
man. Thank you very much, brother. That's amazing, mate. Thank you.
Um, so let's go right into the contract because it looks like the first contract you guys had audited was through Tech Rate. So I did reach out to them and they said yes, that was all confirmed and everything. I was a little concerned on the second audit though because they could not find the second contract audit with the new V2 in their system. But I did find it on your website. So can you tell us a little bit about that and maybe where that confusion is?
So for the tech rate itself, that's weird because we were speaking to tech rate and we paid them, and obviously you see the audit there as well. So maybe it's a bit of a fault there on their side. I'm not sure on that, but like I say, we're the most docs team out there, my man. My face is everywhere. My team's face is everywhere. We are the most legit, real people you'll meet in this space, my man. 100%. Like with Tech Rate, what I'm saying there, obviously, we went through Tech Rate. We paid them for the audit. And as you can see, it's on the website there. Obviously, I can't speak on technical side of stuff because, like I say, I'm not, as you can see, me trying to get into this meeting here. I'm not the most technical guy. But,
Right.
like I say, they got paid for it, my man. They came out with the audit and then we put it on the website for everybody to see. But there will be more audits coming. Okay, we're not just stopping at one. We want so many people to see how much transparency we've got. We've got nothing to hide. We're a solid team. We're a solid company, and we're not here to fuck about. We're here to change the crypto space massively, my man, and make that statement that we are here and GLE is the future.
Sure, absolutely. Let me just share my screen here so that you guys can see what I'm seeing here.
Let me
Um,
see, man. 2 seconds.
let's see. So we'll
I
pop.
can't. Have you shared it? Because I've not seen it yet.
Yep, just a second. It should be
Okay.
popping up here real quick here. So I'm assuming that you can see it now. So this is your current audit and everything that you can see that
Yeah.
was that you guys are posting on your website. But this is the correct audit that was done through Tech Rate for your V1. As you can see, everything is quite a bit different than what
Yeah.
is displayed in the one that is on your website, which
Yeah.
was cause for concern, and that's why I reached out to Miles and those guys over there. They do not have the second contract audit in their system. Period. So
How
that
is that
maybe
even possible? That's a bit. Yeah, that's a bit weird because the weirdest thing is I've got DMs and I've actually got a lot of the guys from TechRate on my DMs, and we paid them. So and the audit's been done. I'm glad you've brought that up because I never knew that. I'll get onto our dev and I'll get onto the team. We'll have a good check on that. But that's very strange how they don't have that. But like I say, it has been done. There's no worries here. You know, yeah. So I'm not really worried at all because it's been done. It's been paid for. You know, and obviously maybe something's happened on their side. I'm not sure, but again, it's there. I don't know how it's different like that. Maybe something different there. I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, just something to be aware of in the future and everything. And just to show you, let me see if I can pull it up here. Because also when I reached out, as you can see, this was the old audit as well. This is where they forward it right into their community
Yeah.
and everything, where it says it there. But let's just jump right over to the website and everything, as you guys can see with the different stuff about Green Life Energy and the new
Yeah.
contract employer and all that stuff. One of the
Yeah.
other concerns that maybe you can help us address, I just want to kind of get all the kind of the concerns out of the
No
way.
problem.
That way we can get right into the rest of the project and everything.
Yeah.
But
Listen, my man, if you've got any concerns, man, just fire away. Fire away. And if I can answer them, I will to my
yeah,
best of my knowledge.
and that's what we appreciate, and that's what we would like to see out of a legit project. So even if they're tough questions and everything, we would like to see those answered because that just shows that
No
you are a
problem.
legitimate company. So one
Nothing
of
to
the
hide, my man.
So it looks like you guys went from V1 to V2. It looks like you guys did the a transfer out from the people that were in V1 to V2. One of the
Yeah.
other concerns was the dusting that I seen. Usually this is not a good sign in the crypto space, so maybe talk with your developer about this going forward. But you can see when you guys
Yeah.
did these multi-sends and everything with a quantity of one. Now there are reasons to do that. I'm sure that you guys were trying to get your user base up, and that's fine, trying to get listed on CoinMarketCap. But this is always this penalizes you on a lot of different
Yeah.
developer
I'm just
tools and people
explain
that are
explain
auditing.
to me explain to me exactly what you mean by dusting. Explain to me that because, like I say, I'm not the technical guy. I've heard that phrase before, but again, you know, that's not my side of things. So if you could explain to me exactly dusting, and I'm sure the community would be happy to hear it as well. So if
Right.
you can explain to me exactly about dusting, what the concern is there, that'd be brilliant, please, mate.
Yeah, not a problem. So what a dusting is where you basically take a whole bunch of wallet addresses from another project and then you put them all into a multi-send wallet, and then you would click send, and as you can see, all of these people just got one, so it would show them as a user in your project, but they really only have one token in the entire project. So these people aren't somebody that invested into your project. You just dusted them with one to increase the number of holders that are in your project so that it shows higher in BSC scan, and when people are looking at DEX tools, so
Yeah.
the holder amount will show as a higher amount. But that is also a negative connotation when you start looking at audits and people that are looking into projects, seeing all of these dusting and multi-sends.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, for dusting wise, mate, I mean, like I say, I know nothing about that. I can ask the dev and ask the team, but I'm pretty sure my team know nothing about that. But we'll have a look and we'll have a chat about it. I'll probably call you again after this AMA session, so we can have a little chat and go through it and address all concerns. But we'll address it all now while I'm here, because like I say, there's nothing to hide here, man. We're a real company. We're a limited company based in London. We're here to make serious fucking money, and that's what we're here for. There's nothing malicious here. We're as real as they come. So, like I say, any questions, let's crack them out now and get them fired out.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely, and I can appreciate that. Like I said, this is just something that come from the deployer wallet and everything. And then
Okay.
the other concern, so it was done from your contract. It wasn't like somebody else did it to you. It was done
Right. Okay.
from your contract. That is 100% verified. So let me just, I don't know why I turned that screen sharing off. Let me pull this right back up here, and that way you guys can see it. There is a very, very large amount of BNB transactions that were transferred out between single wallets, right? So if you look here, these are all of those wallets coming out from one and transferred. That either means that that's either done internally or somebody that controls every single one of those wallets because it's going to and
Answer me
from.
one question. Is this for the V1 or the V2?
This is V2.
Right. Okay. Now, them things there that you're looking at, we've got for all the transactions we've ever sent, we have kept every single transaction and we write down what everything's went out for. So
Yep.
by all means, there's no problem at all. I can show you the list of every single transaction, what it's been spent on, what it's went out for. Like I say, brother, we've got to be like that. We've got to sort things with the FCA soon. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff, the FAC, we've got a lot of stuff going on. So it's like, we're in the midst now of building this company now. So when it comes to it gets regulation on it, we've got no worries. So everything we do, our accountants see it. We keep track of everything. Everything is accounted for. So I can account for every single thing that you're going to show us here, and I can
Sure.
even have a chat and show you everything. Not
Yeah.
a problem.
Perfect. Yeah. So these things you don't need to write down. That's the beauty about blockchain, right? We can always go
Yeah,
through. We can always track these things. Just to give you an idea, and this would be something to maybe go back and talk to your team and say, hey, why was this money transferred around? As you can see, the top wallets here, 4, 5, 9, 14. I'll just click on here so you can actually see them. Um,
yeah,
Number 9 is sent to wallet number 14, 1.5, and then also to number 64, 23. But if you look and you add all of these different ones up, you'll see that a lot of these wallets have interacted with each other. Probably in your top 100 wallets, all of those have been intertwined at some point where they either sent money to and from each other, and not in the token, but actually in BNB. So that's always
yeah.
a concern for investors. So that,
Hey, yeah, and I understand that, but again, it's like, we can't expect. I mean, the good thing about the employees we've got is this, okay? They don't want to ever sell on the chart. They try not to do it because obviously, they've got bills to pay, and everybody's got bills to pay. So there's a lot of them where I've said, look, we'll give you that, we'll pay you that. So they've took B&B as payment for doing stuff. The social teams, they start off, I think it was at £40 a week. Or maybe less than that, I'm not sure, but now they're going up, so they get paid for their time. But it's like, it's B&B, we didn't want anybody to be harming the chart, so we've kind of kept it to where it's B&B. That's where we want to be. We don't want people to be harming the chart if we can help it. If I put it this way, man, if I've got say I had $1,000 worth of GLE in my wallet, and I had $1,000 worth of B&B, and between the two, which one would I give somebody if they needed money? I'd give them B&B. I wouldn't give them my gold. That's mine. But that's the way I look at things. I'd rather give them B&B than, like I say, give them GLE. But at the same time, again, my brother, everything is accounted for. Every single transaction we've got written down, what it's for, who it's gone to, what that's went to them for. So again, yeah, everything's written down. And
yeah,
the
like
investors we've got and the community we've got, they know us down to a T. We're not like I say, I'm as real as I come, my man, and you will realize that by the end of this AMA session. I'm straight up. I don't bullshit. I tell people how things are. So I appreciate your time for telling me what your concerns are. But again, these investors know this team and they know we're solid. But yeah, again, David, I appreciate everything you're bringing up tonight. I really do.
yeah, these are things that are either going to help a project or hurt a project, because the viewers out there to listen to this and potential investors, they're going to look at this and they're going to listen to your answers, and then they're going to take another deep dive. Because compared to a normal investor, just to give you a little bit of background about myself, come August, I would have been in this space 13 years as a project creator, developer. I've worked
Wow.
on some of the most high profile projects that are in the space, that are in the top 100, right? So I'm not just coming at this from just an investor standpoint, but as a actual developer and as an advisor and an
Wow.
advocate within inside of this space. So these concerns that I'm bringing up are things that we want our viewers to take into account when they're looking at not just this project, but every project out there. And
Yep.
any of your
Yep.
investors in your project, they should be able to look at it and say, hey, well, maybe this is a little bit of cause concern. Let's get further answers from the project team, which is always a good
Yep.
thing in the space, because the more that
100%.
we can bring legitimacy to the space and bring legit projects that are trying to do something good, because I commend you for what you're doing within the green life energy sector, right?
Yep.
The things that we really need to tailor out would be the development side of it and these contracts, because again, writing them down is all good stuff, right? But again, that's the beauty of blockchain technology. It's there and it's there forever and for everybody to see, right? So
Yep. Yep.
although some of these
That's why I'm here. That's why we chose the blockchain for renewable, because
right.
it just not just for it's for speed of transactions, for transparency for customers, for companies. So everything's more transparent, more faster to process. That's the reason we
Absolutely.
went to blockchain. That's why we're here.
Perfect. Yeah. So let's jump away from this and everything. I had a few more questions, but we can break that down because some of these, as you did say, a lot of it was transfers out in BNB. Some of it was tokens, but it wasn't a large amount, right? So that's not necessarily a big deal. I know that you guys
Yeah,
are taking some fees and everything to pay for marketing and all that, at least starting out. And I have no issue with that part of it. So let me stop
yeah.
screen sharing here for a second, and then we're going to jump right over to the project itself. And I want you to kind of give me just a rundown. If I'm new to your project, I've never seen it before. Obviously, I spent some time in researching your project, but for those out there that are listening, I want you to give like a 5 minute, just all out. What is green life energy? What does it mean to the world outside of crypto? And how are you trying to incorporate it into crypto everyday life?
So for Green Life Energy itself, it all starts off with our token. Our token is going to be the center of our ecosystem, and our ecosystem is going to be something substantial around the entire globe. So we looked at the first of all things we were thinking about when I first got into this is like, how can we integrate this? How can we get the blockchain involved with renewables? Where do you start? So a few ideas came up, and one idea we wanted to start off with, and what I wanted was a GLE app. Now the GLE app is under development right now, and it's got one of the most prestigious companies out there that's worked with some big applications. So they've worked with Pizza Hut, Etsy, and Yelp. That's just to name a few. They're very, very big developers. Now, the app itself is going to be powered by the GLE token. Okay, you can go in there and chat, but if you want to use functions like anything else in it, which I'll get to in a minute, you have to have the GLE token. Now, you don't have to have a massive amount in there. You've just got to have it in the wallet to activate the system. So again, you'll be able. The way it's going to work is this: the first thing I was really wanted to get into was e-mobility. So you'll be able to go up to a scooter, and there'll be a QR code built into the app, which you'll be able to scan through our application. It'll then give you the option for how long you want to use the e-scooter, but an hour, a day, however long. And then it'll come up with how much you pay for that. But again, you can't, I've said this a million times before, you can't force your ideology on anybody. You can't do it. You've got to give them that choice. So we made it crypto or fiat you can pay in. Now, more than likely, if you give people an option and they see crypto, they're going to realize, oh, well, what is that? Why is that in here? Then they might look further into it and get into it. You understand? So that's the reason why we wanted to give them an option in there. So it'll be e-mobility, e-scooters, e-bikes, electric car charging port systems as well. We want to be one of the biggest and major payment systems for electric car charging ports in the world. Now, the platform we're building for the application is going to be the one place for all your green energy payments. You're not going to fucking 10. You're not going around everywhere paying all this. You don't need 10 cards for electric car charging port system. All you need is the GLE app. Okay. And as well, not only just for e-mobility, we want to be a supplier supplying green energy to our customers. Now, this that you'll be saying, fucking hell, he's aiming big. You've got to aim big in life. Never aim fucking small. Always go for the big. Never aim small. Aim for big. Always be scared of your dreams. If you're chasing them, make them big enough to be scared of them. And I've always done that with everything I've done. So with us again, we want to be supplier. We want to supply green energy to our customers. Now they'll be able to pay their energy bills through our application. So it'd work well. We'd send a bill out. Obviously, this is down the road. We'd send a bill out. You'd either get a text notification or an email or something. It would come up on the app to say you need to pay your bill. So again, you get it in crypto or fiat. Now, that's entirely up to you. That's again, you can't force your ideology. You've got to give people that chance. Now, there is a few other things in there in the application as well, which I can't speak about yet, but there is some fucking amazing things that's going on behind the scenes right now. Not only that as well, we want to be developing solar energy, wind farms, anything that is green projects around the entire globe, even microgrids in Nigeria to help communities. Now, it doesn't just stop with the app itself. When I said we're building an ecosystem, I wasn't messing about. The ecosystem we are building is going to start as well with a foundation that we are building in Switzerland right now. There's a foundation that's getting set up in Switzerland. Now, Ethereum went there for their foundation. Cardano went there for their foundation. So we are creating a foundation called the Green Life Foundation. Okay. And the Green Life Foundation is going to be a green platform, a green launch pad for green energy initiative and projects around the world. where, say, for instance, say somebody wanted to put a solar panel farm in Spain and they heard about the foundation. They could bring their project to the foundation, and the foundation is run by board members. Okay, so there's three board members from GLE. And I'll speak about our partners in a minute. There's three board members from our partners, Mondays and Pales, and there'll be six board members that represent the DAO. And these representatives of the DAO will be obviously speaking on the people's voice. They'll be the people's voice. Now, this DAO isn't just going to be like a case of they speak and we choose it and we choose what we want. No, our partners and us, none of these projects will go through unless the DAO accepts it. If the DAO wants it, well, we will go for it. But if the DAO say if we all, if to put it this way, if we said, if GLE and Mondays and Pale said we want this, and the DAO said we don't want that, we're six people. They could be 10,000 people. What power have we got to overspeak the people? We don't have that power. So for us, the DAO is what is going to. The DAO makes this whole project live and breathe. These people have got a voice. They'll have a voice in the world, a voice to help anybody, anywhere in the world, and it'll be their decision that'll make it happen. Now, I know I spoke a bit about our partners there, and I'll speak about the DAO in a minute. But I hope everybody understands what's going on right now. David, I hope you understand that. If you've got any questions, I can run through
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But if you're good, I'll carry on.
Let's break down some of that real quick because you kind of threw out a lot of information. So I understand the whole green energy thing, having the e-scooters and all that, and the electric charging stations, and being able to pay with crypto or being able to pay with fiat, which is great, right?
Yep.
So are you guys planning on rolling out a whole section of scooters? Or are you going to need to partner with a scooter company and also with all these charging stations to be able to have them accept your app as their payment provider? And what benefit do those merchants get for using your app? And then also as an investor, how do I benefit? How do I make money from that?
Okay. So there's a few things I can't answer there. I'd love to answer them, but I can't. I can answer the one by saying, are we going to have our own e-scooters? Yes, we are. Are we going to partner with companies?
Where would those roll out at? Do you already have some in place, or that's something that's coming in 6 months, a year, 3 years?
These are in development right now. They're getting designed right now. These e-scooters. So I can't go much further than that because I've already said too much there. But I don't mind telling you that. So we are going to have our own e-scooters. Are they going to be connected to the GLE app? Yes, they are. Are we going to get involved with partners at some point? Possibly. Okay.
Well,
and you're asking me there.
You had mentioned a few things about being able to pay your green energy bill and everything right through the app. So I'm assuming at that point you have some partners where we can go on and would be able to pay that as soon as the app is ready.
We've got partners, right? Well, let me speak about the partners a bit. You want me to speak about the partners and then we'll come back to this?
Sure.
So it all started, when did we first speak to them? It would have been maybe 3 or 4 months ago. We got an email through from a company in Turkey called Pales, not Pales. You'll kick me in for saying that. Palace. And when I first seen the email, I was like, right, it's a scam. Ignore it. Straight up, that's that. I'm not lying to you there. That's what I said. I was like, that's a scam. Get rid of that. And one of the team, Sadiq, said, no, I think we should just, we should get back to them and see what they're saying. And this is why I always say get back to everybody. That even after that email, I get back to everybody. And so, yeah, I had a conversation with them. We had a chat about things. We had a few meetings. And then I said, you know what, man, I'll come and see you in Turkey. I'll fly out to Turkey and I'll come and see you. So we sat there for a bit. I flew out to see them. Very humble, very respectful people. Like, it's hard to find people in business that have the same vision as you, and they're just good people. It's hard to find people like that. I'm sure you met people like that, David, and you've been doing business a long time now. I'm sure it's hard to find people you can trust, and it's very hard.
Well, sure. And
so we went out. I went out. Met them in Turkey, and it was amazing. Really humble, hospitality with them was amazing. They looked after me, treated me like family, and we had a conversation about everything. And obviously, the DAO came up through them, and we spoke a bit more. And after we spoke about the foundation, and obviously the DAO that was connected to it, that was our connection there. Now you'd be asking, right, so what do the partners bring? Well, we signed a contract with these partners for a $200 million utility deal over 2 years. Now you'll be saying, fucking hell. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is fucking hell. So what are they bringing to us? You'll be asking. What is this bringing to GLE? This is bringing utility to our token. We'll be getting shares in these projects. Now, I never said this. Okay, the foundation is a non-profit, right? Okay, you know that foundation's a non-profit. So the foundation is going to be receiving revenue, not no sales on the chart, no dumping of GLE on the chart, none of that. It's going to be receiving revenue from outside the chart. What I mean by that is biomethane, solar farms, wind farms. We will be putting revenue on how successful these projects are back in to the foundation. So say we put, for example, say we put 5 million, 100, whatever, 100,000 or whatever in the foundation. 50% of that is getting airdropped to stakers, to GLE holders that will be able to stake into the foundation.
Yeah.
And they will be getting that in BUSD.
Sure.
Okay.
So let me
So
ask you real quick. That way we can kind of
go for it.
go into some of these smaller parts and everything. Because I think if
No
I let you
problem.
rattle on for the next hour, you probably would. So let me just stop you
Mate,
and
I could put it this way. I could have a conversation with you for 10 days about GLE, mate. No
yeah,
joke.
I love the
That's
ambition, man. I love the ambition and
I'm
enthusiasm.
I'm not joking. Yeah.
So are you able to say, since you've already signed a contract, are you able to say who that partner is out loud yet?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. It's all over the website everywhere. It's Mondius and Pales and Palace. Sorry, Palace and Mondius. Burke and Immer, the chairman of the company, was trying to get in here tonight to come and speak, but
yep, I had
he
heard you
was
say Palace and everything. I was actually trying to look them up and everything based off of the website. So I'll have to look into that some more. So I do got a
yeah.
question. So you
If
said
you
that just real
sorry,
quick,
carry on.
so that you said that you would be able to do large fiat pay. Could you be taking in fiat, not just necessarily crypto? But I remember in your original plan, everything is they would have an option to pay with fiat or the crypto, right? Which is good if you get mass adoption into your crypto, right? But now that's kind of a double edged sword because now everybody's paying in the token, right? Let's say that you get more people that want mass adoption, they want to pay with your cryptocurrency. So at that point, you may not have as much fiat coming in, which is a good and bad thing, right? So at that point,
Yeah.
how do the people get rewarded? Because at some point, you will have to make sales of that token, correct?
Everything feeds back. Everything comes back to the. So, for example, I've not even spoke about the NFT carbon credit marketplace because if we have time, I'll go into it. But I'll speak about it fast. The carbon credit marketplace for NFT. So NFTs, one NFT will offset 1 ton of carbon dioxide. Okay, that's what we're building these for. And now these carbon credits are coming from our partners. Their facilities they've got running, the carbon credits they've got, they'll be selling on a marketplace. Now, it won't just be for them, airlines, big, massive companies. And we're speaking to big companies right now about all of this. So, again, a percentage of that is going to go back to GLE. A percentage of that is going to go back in the ecosystem. A percentage of that is going to go back to the token. So, all the cells, anything, the app as well, percentage of that's going back to the GLE token.
Yep.
Everything is
Yep.
there to increase the value of our ecosystem.
Yeah,
Everything. Now,
100% agree with that. I mean, specifically like on these solar farms and all that stuff, and people want to go pay their bill. Let's say they don't want to use fiat. They bought into. We're looking 5 years from now, right? Let's say that people buy into the whole crypto thing and they're not using fiat anymore, and all you're taking in is cryptocurrency at that point. And what I mean by that would be the GLL token, right? Or
can I
GLE
can I tell
token.
you can I tell you this one thing, my brother? In
Yep.
5 years' time, nobody will want to sell the GLE. It's diamonds right now, but it's going to turn to gold. Trust me on that.
Sure,
Nobody in
I
five
understand
years,
that.
but I'll answer the question. I will answer the question. But in 5 years, you've heard me say this now, my man. Nobody will want to sell it. I promise you that. But anyway, back to the question. What you're saying? Do you know the revenue you get from a solar farm? Do you know how much comes in
Yes,
from one solar farm?
yes, I'm an investor
You
in
can
three
you
of them.
can you can make 1.9 million in under 0.67 of a year. You make that in under a year. Now imagine 5 of them. Okay, so you've got company rolling revenue all the time. Okay, You're giving your customers, they can pay whatever they want, whatever they want.
And
Imagine 10 of them. Imagine, like, I'm not just doing this on a small scale.
yeah,
Understand that. I'm
when
aiming
you throw
big.
those numbers out of 1.9, because I am invested in three solar farms. To be clear, what size solar farms are you referring to on that dollar amount, that revenue amount? What how many
So for that,
panels or how
okay,
many?
so for that amount, well, for that amount there, I couldn't say it off the top of my head. Everything is written down on the sheets of paper, our plans, our business plans. All the numbers are there. Okay, I can get them all to you. Not a problem at all. It's no issue at all. You can ring me back after this, and I'll have a chat with you about it. But I have all the figures written down. I
Yeah,
didn't. I apologize because I didn't know this. You were going to ask me this question. But again, I can give you that. It's not no problem at all. I can give you all the figures. But it is a substantial size solar farm. If
yeah.
it is a substantial size.
I think it would be great for the audiences out there listening, and even within inside of your community, maybe even putting that on the website is kind of a general scale. It doesn't have to be exact, right? Because things come up, you have expenses because it is very expensive to start a solar farm
Well,
as well.
I'll tell you what. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds, my man, and I will actually find this for you.
Yeah,
2 seconds.
that's all right. I do. I think it would be a great idea to have it right up on your website and
Oh, I
everything.
agree. I completely agree with you. 100%.
Because that way
Give me
people can
two.
get a general idea back and forth of what kind of revenue comes in, what percentage of that would go back directly to the holders, what percentage goes to the foundation, and I
I
think it would
agree.
give a great breakdown.
Definitely, man. 100%.
But yeah, you can come back and post it because obviously, if you've done an AMA, we always welcome everybody back to bring us new information or information maybe you didn't have available during the AMA.
Yeah.
We always
Yeah.
encourage everybody to come back. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know what you got going on in the future. It's a forever thing. It's not like you're only limited to one AMA with us. You're always welcome to come back and post in our group and on the platform and everything about what's going on with inside of your project.
So, yeah, I appreciate that, David. Thank you very much, man. So, for the output, it's 2.2 million kilowatt. So, sorry, kWh. And the amount, the tax credits. So what would happen? Obviously, you're in solar farms, you'll know this. The government give you tax credits as well, so it's like a depreciation. So you get 1.1 million of the government. Your annual sales and maintenance for that would be like 7,200. Electricity income, so incentive for obviously selling stuff to the grid, etc. You're looking at 2 million, and then the output on that as well. You'd be looking at about, I mean, it depends. Solar panel farms aren't really, they're not that expensive to maintain because all you've really got to do is go and clean. You've got to clean the solar panels themselves. They kind of run themselves unless you have a major breakdown. Okay, but
Yeah,
yeah,
the startup is
you're
the worst, right? So the startup building out these solar farms, the upfront cost is where the money is spent, right? So
yeah,
depending on
exactly.
that's why I was curious on the size of solar farm because it is a, a fairly large sum of
Yeah,
investment
yeah,
to get those
yeah,
started. So especially if you're trying to do three of them, and the tax credit side of it, I can only speak from this because I'm involved in those companies, right? So on the tax side, it really depends on the country and the region, and also especially like here in the states and everything. Those tax rebates are only good for so many years, right? You
yeah.
either
I
use them
understand
or
that.
you lose them.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
also within a local level, it really depends on the energy company, right? Because at one
yeah,
time nobody wanted to pay. The energy companies did not want to pay for the money they were drawing back in for solar panels. They
yeah,
kind of started
yeah.
it out in California, and then it kind of worked its way to the East Coast.
It's
So,
it's
so
kind of it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same with the UK as well. I mean, I spoke to Yelm Energy. I had a meeting with them, and they were telling me that how much of a markup the government puts on solar panels they sell to customers or to energy companies, and the prices in the UK right now are crazy. Okay,
right.
and I'm pretty confident we can undercut prices massively. Obviously, by making money, not killing the market because you don't ever want to do that, but you obviously want to undercut it to make people's lives a bit more comfortable. So, it's I'm pretty confident we can do that. But again, like I said, it's 6 pence a kilowatt here. This I think it's 5 or 6 that they get for the solar farms here in the UK, and they're selling it for up at like 18 pence to the supplier, and the supplier is pushing it out for like 33 pence. So
Right.
it's getting crazy here. It's getting insane here. Actually, people they're paying a separate, like, it's like another mortgage on the house. It's basically another rent. It's insane, mate. They pay the rent, and then they've got their energy bill comes in, and it just stings them twice. So that's another reason for this, giving people a chance to. This is what GLE is about as well. It'll be a global brand for helping the planet, helping the people. That's what it's here. That's what it's here for. Obviously, making money, but we're here to help people. That's the main thing, and help the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. As you know, there is a lot of competition, especially right now in the race for green energy. Right, everybody's trying to do something green energy.
Yeah,
So, will you guys? Obviously, you're going to be buying solar panels from another company. Are you guys going to be investing not necessarily just into a foundation, but into like startups that are technology based for like batteries or a new addition that will
yeah.
actually help grow with technology specifically for solar farms? I would think as an investor, that would be something I would love to hear as to how you guys are going to invest in other companies and startups that are building in this industry outside of crypto as well, so that we can
Yeah,
be on the ground level of those companies.
yeah. I think for us as well, what you're saying there, obviously, company wise, solar farms wise, is it a possibility in the future? Yes. Will we do it? 100%. But one thing I was really, really pushing on as well, and we did speak about a little bit about this, was being like I say, being that launch pad for green projects around the world through the foundation. That for me. That. I mean, obviously, helping the technology is great as well, but giving these other people a chance to start their special thing in the world somewhere where they can make a difference. That was the thing for us, giving
Yeah,
them the chance to make their difference. And again, as well, is GLE could GLE possibly in the future start GLE Ventures? Could we be a venture capital company helping projects that are overlooked? 100%.
sure.
Definitely, because there's so. You know what the sad thing is, David, man. There's so many projects in this space that are overlooked, and they've got great potential, and nobody looks at them. And and
Right,
and that's the sad thing about this space. People jump on other people's backs to get where they need to get to. They don't
right.
want to run or walk themselves. It's always been like that, and it's same in any business. It's who you know. You know, but it's good to see the guys that are there going. Do you know what? We're going to do it ourselves. We're going to get there. Because at the end of the day, they can look back and we fucking did that ourselves. There was no one there to help us.
Sure.
We went and did that, and that's what I respect a lot is these little projects and these companies that are like, we're doing this, man. Fair enough, partner with who you want to partner with, but you know, don't use somebody else's name to get big. Never do that because then you'll always be known as that project that did that. You understand?
Sure.
And another thing as well is this: we've been here since November. Since November we launched, right? And I'll tell you this now, we came up with this idea then, even a year and a half ago. And the thing I always say is, as well, is a copy is always going to be a copy. You always be the original. Your idea is your idea. You're the original. But a copy will always be a copy. You understand that?
Right. So
But it, but
I
yeah,
am
carry on.
I am curious and everything with these solar farms. I know it's kind of a secondary thing at this point because now we're talking about the launch pad.
Yeah.
But are you planning on doing any type of crypto mining with these solar farms as well?
Well, that is something. You know what? I was really, really excited about getting into that. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to do that. Might we partner with a project out there and allow them to mine on our farms? 1,000,000%. Is there actually a project in mind that I would love to do that with? Yes, there is. Am I going to tell you? No, I'm not. but but yeah, that's definitely maybe not us doing it because I'm more interested in obviously mining crypto is mining crypto. The market goes up, the market comes down. Is it worth the mining when the market's so low? No. Is it worth it mining when it's so high? Yes. So it's a kind of to and fro thing. Now, with solar farms, are we going to use that electricity to create microgrids in other countries to help people? Would I rather do that? Yeah, I would rather do that. But again, are we going to be here to partner with a company that's got a mining rig up, set up a big mining rig there? Are we going to partner with them? Yes, we will. Will we go down that option? 100%, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a feel for the actual underlying utilities of the project, right? I mean, if you told me, hey, we're going to be doing solar mining and stuff, and let me just give you a little bit of advice from somebody that's been in the space. A lot of people speak so vague, and I understand holding some things back and everything just to be able to have momentum and have something exciting to talk about. I
Yeah.
would just limit how much of that I put and said I'm not going to talk about it right now, and we'll talk about it in the future. I would limit that to very specific things that maybe you're not able to talk about right now, and not just
Yeah.
very vague questions, right? So let's jump into your launch pad part of it, right? I'm excited
Yeah,
to
I
hear
mean,
about this.
I appreciate what you're saying there. Obviously, you're saying don't say things. Well, I don't want to tell people stuff, and I'd rather it was going to get done. I'd rather tell people when it's done. I'm not one of these guys that'll say it's done in a week and it's not done. You know what I mean? I'm one of these guys that says when it's done, it's done. I'd rather put a date on something and have it solid, not say something and not deliver. Do you understand?
No,
That's me. So,
right, I completely understand, but that's what a roadmap is for, is to say, hey, these are the things that we're looking at doing, especially if we're
but
going to have a DAO and we're going to let you
yeah,
guys
again,
vote on it. But these are the stuff that we want to bring up for a vote in the DAO, right? We want to
yeah,
look at doing
yeah,
solar parks. We want to look at being the number one provider for all electric energy out there, right, through our app. We
yeah,
want to do this and then
yeah.
let your community vote on it if it's truly going to be a community-based project.
So one thing I will say with that, with the roadmap, how many times has our roadmap changed? Not very much at all. How many projects out there roadmaps change daily? There's hundreds of projects that change their roadmaps daily because they
Yep,
don't know what they're doing.
yep,
With us, we're set in stone. We're set in stone. We know where we're going. That roadmap that you see now will never change. That's our roadmap, and
no,
that's
no,
where
no.
we're going to be.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that completely, John. And honestly, if you just read everything directly from your roadmap, no problems, right? But you had mentioned things, but then say that you didn't want to speak about it beyond that, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm giving you the advice on, because you mentioned
Oh,
them.
I appreciate it, David. Mate, I appreciate it, brother. I really do. I
Yeah.
appreciate everything you're telling me tonight, mate. You know, you've been in this industry 13 years. I've been in here a year and a half. So
Right.
you're like Yoda, mate. Yeah,
So
you're like
you
Yoda.
But I appreciate that. But you're absolutely right. There's a lot of people that change the roadmap. They don't know what they're doing. But I can also assure you that 90% of the projects out there that you see to date, you will not see when we get into the next bear market. It'll be a whole new set of
100%.
projects, right?
Definitely, brother.
This happens over and over and over again.
And
And
do
one,
you know what the cool thing is about that? Sorry to interrupt you again, my
go ahead.
man. I do that, by the way. You can tell me to fuck off if I keep doing it.
No, you're good.
So sorry for swearing on your podcast as well, mate. But I'll end up doing it, and I do. But I apologise, but I can't help it. So yeah, one thing I will say, what you said there is amazing because bear markets bring out the gems here. They bring out the real companies, the ones that are going to last. You know, coins that are just hype disappear in these markets. They're gone. So these markets are good. I like these markets, mate, because it shows how much strength your company's got, how much strength your investors have got, and your community. You know what I
Sure.
mean? It's just good to see that. And yeah, I like bear markets, man. I really do. This is the first bear market I've seen, but it's
Well,
good because it puts you under pressure and sees how well your company's going to cope. You know?
yep. So I can assure you that millionaires are born in bear markets, not bull markets. They are born in bear markets, right? Because it really gets out of we'll just call them shit projects and some of those meme tokens that we're all familiar with. I don't need to name any specific names.
Yeah,
But especially
I
on the
could name a few.
BSC network, even though it's one of the largest networks in the entire space, right, as far as volume
Yeah,
and user base, it does
yeah,
also bring in a lot of new people to crypto that are looking for those 100x's they keep hearing about, and then they get in and they get wrecked, and they say, well,
yeah.
crypto's a scam, and then they're out, and then everybody's just trying to get money in and get it out as fast as possible. But in
I think
these
that.
bear markets, let me just finish real quick. In these bear markets where people are actually getting right into the nitty gritty of these good utility projects, that's
Yes,
the
mate.
time that they actually shine, and that's when they are able to move forward and grow up and become great companies. When you do get to the bear market, they're already
Oh, I
grown up,
totally
right?
agree. I totally agree, man.
So this is
I
the
totally
building
on.
phase, and that's really the people that want to make it in the space and to have a legitimate utility project. This is where they build their project, they grow up, and then they're soaring when we do get to the bear market. They're already established.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. When you get to the bull market, is that what you meant? Yeah,
Yeah, once you get to the bull market, you're already a grown up. You're not just
yeah,
starting out.
yeah. Exactly. And that's what I see. That's what I like about this because it shows how strong your company is. It shows how strong your investors are. It gives, it gives your project. No, I'm saying project. We're not even a project anymore. We're a company. That's the weird thing. We started off as a project in November. Now we're a limited company. Now that's some growth. Other people do it the other way. They go as a company, make a project. But yeah, anyway, like I say, the bear market itself, man, I think it's brilliant. It brings out the real gold that's hidden, the real
Sure.
gems there.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump right into your kind of the tokenomics behind the entire token. So tell me about the total supply. It looks like you guys burned some. Tell me about that. When did you guys burn them and why?
So we burnt like well, what we did was on the V1 we burned we burned
Yeah,
right.
let's stick with the V2. That because that's what we're looking at right
All
now.
right, the V2. I think it was 68% of supply. I think it was. I'm not. I'll have to check that number. It's been a while since I've had that question, but I appreciate it. So I know right now we've got 159 million in supply. I know that. That's where we're at right now. 159 million.
Yep.
That's what's in supply.
So I'll help you out here. The percentage that was burned to the dead address was 68%. Okay.
Good. Yeah, that was a good guess. Fucking hell.
And
Yeah,
and it
carry on.
looks like your top 9 wallets are all contract addresses. Can you kind of just give us a breakdown of what all those contracts are for? They may be locked, they may be vesting. If
They're
you
all multi-sigs. So all them wallets that you see up there that have got big amounts of GLE,
Mhm.
Mondius, our partners, Mondius and Pales, they've got, I think we sent them, I think it was 46 million we sent them. Now the
40,
46 million,
yeah, 40.6. Yep.
that's it. Okay, so our 40.6 is going to be given to the foundation. That'll be going into the foundation for the ecosystem over
Okay.
time. Okay. Now, there's wallets there from the teams as well. There's team wallets there as well for Mondius. Now we have got every single allocate, every single wallet there has got. I'm not sure the amounts. If you read the amounts out to me, I can let you know exactly what that wallet is. But I know the 40 is for our partners.
Yeah, let's go to the 9.3 million one.
9.3 million. 9.3 million. I'm pretty sure that is a marketing wallet.
Okay.
I'm
And
sure
then
that's a marketing wallet.
and I'm assuming the 4 after that are all the same amount. It's like 9 million and 10, right? At the end. So I'm guessing
Yep.
those are team wallets or team member wallets.
They'll be team wallets. A lot of them are team wallets and the partner wallets as well. I'm pretty sure if somebody, I'm sure this is in the community. I'm sure we've got all these wallets written down and it's pinned as a message in the community. So if anybody is listening here and you want the information, just pop into the community. There's guys that the community members there, the mods, they're great. They'll help you. Ask them. They'll show you every single wallet there, what it's for, how much is in it, and why it's got that much in it. Not a problem at all.
Yep, perfect. So it looks like you guys started out with the 500 million in total supply, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So tell us about this burn. Why we decided to burn so much? Because that's over half of the supply that we burned.
So the reason for the burn, again, I'm not the tech kid here, but this is what I got told. So this is what I got told. So, on the launch of the token, the first one, we never hit pre-sale. Okay, we never got it. So we
Right.
burned 68% to make up. I don't know why. You'll probably know better than me why they do that. If you don't make your pre-sale, they do that for a reason. You'll probably know better than me.
You actually may not like my answer about why projects do this at pre-sale, but
Well, no.
I'll tell you
Hey,
why.
listen. I don't mind. Carry on. I'm listening, my man. I appreciate anything you say,
Yeah.
and it's not a fact that I won't like your answer. It'll be me learning, so I can appreciate what you're going to say. So carry on.
Sure. So most projects will start out and you see a lot of them all the time. Right at launch, they'll sit there and they'll burn 50% of the supply, right? And then everybody gets excited, especially all the new people, because they don't understand what actually just happened, right?
Yeah,
So what
yeah,
happens is, and for nefarious projects, they'll come in and let's say, well, we're only going to take 10%. So on 100 million, they're going to take 10 million tokens for the team, right? But now
yeah,
they just burned 50% of the total supply. So how much do they really have? They actually have 20% of the supply, don't they? Not
yeah,
10%, like they said. They have 20% of the supply in team tokens, but nobody realizes that because in the contract, because it just says 68% burn, and it's going to show that smaller 10% number, just like in this case for your foundation, it says 8.13%, but actually it's more like 20% of your supply because you've already burned that 68%, correct?
yeah. But that's not the supply anymore. The supply is now 159 million.
I
So is
understand
that not 8% of the supply now?
you're not at 8% of the supply now. You're at 20 something percent of the supply now.
Okay, right.
Because
Sorry. Carry on. I'm
yep,
listening.
yeah. So if you take that number, what's left, right? That other
Yeah,
32%, and then what is that going to be? That's going to be somewhere 100 and something million, right? So
yeah,
40 million of that, over a third, is wrapped up in that foundation, right? So
yeah,
it's actually
yeah.
closer to probably 30%, 25, whatever. So
One
same.
thing, sorry, I was gonna say one thing I do know is when we did the V1,
Mhm.
the guy didn't even tell us he was gonna burn it. He just burned it.
Right,
We didn't even know he was gonna burn it, so he did it, right? And we're like, well, we can't do anything about it now. And that's the God's on. That's the truth on that because they don't lie about things. The second, obviously, in the second time, we obviously when we did the V2. Now, would a lot of the community been upset if we never kept the same supply? Yes, it would have been. So that was the other reason for doing it,
right.
because you wanted the community to be happy, with the same supply, not changing things. You wanted people to be, that was the other reason why doing it as well.
Right. So what you would normally do in these situations, instead of coming out and saying, "Well, we got 500 million tokens," you would just start with the same supply that you normally would have had, right? So in this case, if it was 100 million, 140 million, whatever, you would start with
Yeah,
that supply because there's no point in burning them because it doesn't do anything for the contract, right? It
yeah,
does
I
zero for
understand
the
that. Yeah,
price. The only way it
yeah,
makes a difference in price is if you're actually buying those tokens and burning those tokens, right?
yeah,
In this
yeah,
case, you haven't bought anything because it was already part of the deployer when you created the contract. So it does zero for the token. But a lot of people say, "Oh, we burned half of it. Now it's going to go up by 100%." That's not the way that it works in the space or in
yeah.
contract.
We know that. Yeah,
Right.
we know that.
But a lot of your community members may not know that, and some of our audience out there listening. So that's why I think it's important when I do see these burns is to kind of go into detail, find out why, because there may be a purpose, behind it, right? Maybe you were supposed to raise a certain amount, you didn't raise it, so you were trying to calculate. So you had great pre-math and great
Yeah,
launch price, right? You want to make sure that everything's set correctly, and sometimes you're required to burn that to get to those prices. This is an awful big 68% is an awful big burn. But if you
Can
have
I
all
can I
the
just can I
right,
just say one thing? One thing, my brother. I appreciate every single thing you're telling me tonight. I really do. The only thing I'm focusing on right now is increasing the price of that token and getting my company where it needs to be. I appreciate everything on the blockchain. I appreciate the transparency, everything you're telling me now. But for me right now, my brother, the only thing I'm interested in is looking after my investors, pushing that price like I've always promised I will, and get this company to $1 billion company. And I promise you I will do that. But like I say, I really appreciate everything you're going through. So carry on. But I'm just letting you know that.
yep,
I'm not worried about what's being burnt. It doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters to me is how much that moves, how much that token goes up. That's
yep.
what I care about, making my investors money. But
No,
carry
no,
on, my
no.
man. Go for it.
Let's. I can appreciate that answer, right? But also appreciate the flip side of that for somebody that's coming into your project that doesn't that hasn't had a chance to have this one-on-one, that hasn't had a chance to be
Yeah,
involved in your community for months at a time while all this was going down. They're just going to see this stuff, and then you're going to lose those people because they're not going to come in. They're because most people in
I
crypto
understand that.
are quick-minded, right? So that's why I think it's important to have these conversations because just
Oh,
for those reasons
definitely.
reasons alone, because just because you have great intentions out there without having these conversations like this, nobody knows that, right?
I agree. I completely agree. Yeah,
So that
definitely.
so that's why it's important not only from the marketing standpoint and you being out there as a pitch man, but also making sure that it looks correct inside these contracts and looks good inside the website, and all of this stuff is explained thoroughly in the process and everything. One other thing I think I would mention was put that hey, we did do a migration from V1 to V2 because all this stuff was very easily available and ready, because that way it doesn't look like that you took something from another project. Because originally, to be quite frank, that is what I thought in my initial phase of going through and researching the project, because I seen that it was associated with another website, your logo and everything, right? Associated with
Yeah.
another website, another contract, and all of that. Without going through and doing further research from that point, and then obviously I learned that you guys went into a V2. So I really do think these are
Yeah, I mean,
important conversations.
like I say, GLE was created a brand new contract. Everything was rebranded. Everything, we own the brand, we own everything. Everything was brand new for a brand new start. That's all. It was for staying it. It was for the future of this company, for my vision, and to keep it pushing wherever it needs to go. That was the reason for it.
Sure. No, absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that. Like I said, again, just important conversations when people are coming and looking,
Oh,
because
I agree.
you always hear people saying, "Oh, well, what is the contract? What does it say in the contract? Why are these functions in the contract?" Which will bring me to the next thing. We'll just kind of jump right into the contract. There are a couple of things in the contract that I wouldn't like to see in a contract and everything. But if you could
Okay,
just
go
go
for it,
through,
man.
yep. So you have the ability to stop trading altogether. You also have the ability to stop wallets, to stop the swap completely, right? Dex routers I don't have an issue with. Max transaction I don't have an issue with, because I'm assuming you want everybody to be able to stay under a certain amount for like an anti-well type thing. You want them to only
Yeah,
hold a certain amount. Excluded from fees and limits and all that stuff. I don't have an issue with that, because sometimes you need to be able to transfer more. The main concerns
yeah.
would be able to stop trading and to pause contracts,
So,
right?
so the reason why we needed this is because the V1 never had that. It's
Right.
still trading now. You understand that? We couldn't even stop it. So we couldn't stop the last one because we couldn't actually get all the liquidity. We couldn't get it all because and we couldn't stop. That's why on the last contract there was no taxes. There was nothing going back to taxes, nothing going back to the marketing, nothing going back to the LP. So in my mind, my brother, these things had to be put there in case we had an emergency, something had to be stopped, or something had to happen. These are only there for precautions. That's all they're there for.
What was your all-time high? Let's
I
see.
think it went up to, was it 17 million market cap? I think it was 10 cents. Did we go up to 10 cents? I think even the community members will answer that for me. Was it 10 cents, guys? I
Looks
think
like
it,
somewhere in a one single transaction, it got up to around 10.92. So, but for the most, but it looks like that was a single transaction. Really,
yeah,
your all time high, I would say, is probably somewhere around um 0.085, somewhere in there. Is your true all
yeah,
time high? Yeah. And
yeah,
then it looks
yeah,
like now you're trading around 0.0267.
yeah.
So what do you think the contributing factor is going from that point? Because you're getting close to what you would have been right at launch price.
I mean, we're still quite far away from launch price. We've came up still quite a bit, and we're holding the floor holds pretty well. These guys are solid holders. We've got a really good community and investor base here. So what do you say? What made it go from where it is now up? Is that what you're saying?
Yep. So it looks like you guys, based off of my charts and my numbers, right? It looks like you guys launched at about 0.01612. It's the numbers that I have, right? So
Point
you're,
zero point zero one? Did you say?
yep.
Nah, we did. It was way below that. What was the launch price? Does any of you guys know the launch price in here? Jimbo, you might know, or maybe Block.
Sorry, no.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm looking back.
nah.
I'm looking back on three charts. It was 0.01612.
Was that on the V2?
This is on V2, yes.
Ah, yeah, yeah. On the V1, it's a lot lower, my man. So we've came up quite a bit. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this is V2, yeah. So and
yeah,
then you
that's
guys
fine.
went up to around that 8.5, 8.6, and then now we're back down to around the 0.0269.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you think
So
that's
what was
contributed specifically to market? Because it looks like you guys have been launched on the 12th, so a little over 2 months, right? Going on
yeah,
2.5 months.
yeah. We were going on. Obviously, we started on the 12th of November last year, and then obviously we moved to a V2. And
Yeah.
yeah, so 2 months. Yeah, I think the market caused it a bit, but again, it's one of them things. It's like the good thing about a lot of people obviously worry about the chart, etc. And I've said this to all our investors and all of our community. We don't just live and breathe on that chart. We live and breathe in the real world with utility now. You know, don't
No, no,
when you
I get
worry
that.
about when you worry about the chart, it can cause a lot of issues for yourself. Never look at the chart. Look at the company. Look at the company. Look at what they're building. Speak to the company. That's the way. If I'm ever going to invest in somebody, the chart. A lot of people look at the chart. I look at what they're building. What's coming in the future? What have they got going on? And if
Yeah,
you see these things there, then you're in the gold mine. You're in the gold there.
yep. I definitely don't mean to stop you on that. Just a few minutes ago, we were talking everything, and your promise to the investors was to make sure that price kept going up. That's why I bring it up, right? of where you were, where you went, and where you're at now. I definitely believe in building a company, right? And definitely believe in that should be the goal, and that's why a lot of investors come in. When you made that comment and everything, so I wanted to just clarify that your goal and your promise to your investors is the number on the chart. So at that point, if that's the promise, that should be a big deal to your audience, I'm assuming.
It is. Obviously, I'm not saying it's not a big deal. I'm saying what it is. I'm saying if you're going to invest in a company, you don't just invest in the chart. You invest in what they're building, because if the company does well, the chart does well. Okay, right. And maybe right now the market's affecting it in that way, whatever. But I know that chart won't ever stay like that. You understand? And
absolutely.
And this conversation we're having, David, I want you to remember it, and remember all these things you've said to me tonight, because I'll remember everything you said to me, and I know and I appreciate all the advice you've said. And this isn't the end of it. This is me speaking to you here. Remember everything. Remember this conversation. Come back to me in 2 years. Then look at the price. Then tell me. I promise you.
Absolutely. I want you coming back here every 6 months and giving us an update of where you guys are, right? Like I said, I have no ill will or bad.
Listen, man, I know that, brother. Hey, I'm
luck. Believe that.
Hey, man, I appreciate the questions. I actually like this, mate. I'd rather all my AMA sessions were like this. I'd rather they were all like this, But like I say, I know you're not here for bad things, my man. I know you're just asking questions, and I appreciate them all, and I'm listening to every single one. All right, my man.
Trust me, people will tell you that know me in this space. If you can make it through one of my AMAs, you're doing good. So,
mate, like I say, I'm enjoying it, mate. I wish all my AMAs were like this.
Well, I think it's important for your community. And then again, the key to it is, even if you don't have the answer right now, go get the answer, because that shows that you care enough about your community and about your project that maybe you don't have the right answer right now, or maybe it's an overthought, that maybe it's something you haven't thought of, and now you're thinking of it, and now you want to fix it, right? I
agree with that.
Being a great team or owner, a great project owner, developers, whatever role you play on a team, right? The key
transparency is key, my man. Transparency is key.
Because to tell you that I've never made a mistake in all of these years, I would love to tell you I've never done it, but I have, right? So
everybody does, man. It's part of life, my man. You can't think you're the sharpest tool in the box all your life. It doesn't happen like that,
Exactly. So when I tell these projects, even if you don't know the answer, and sometimes you get marketing guys that are doing these AMAs and they have no idea about the tech stuff, and I get that, right? And some of the questions I ask her are just to get their response from it, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Have you ever answer me this question? Answer me this question, David. Have you ever had anybody in here that's came in here and left? Ever?
No.
That's awesome.
But if they do, that should show that community, and
that's a red flag. 100% red flag, mate.
They don't deserve your investment, right?
Definitely, I agree with that.
How many projects? Now, I have had them leave other AMAs that I have been part of. Because this is not the only AMAs that I do, but specifically in Blockstar, no, we have not had anybody leave yet. But again, we also try to vet a lot of the projects that we have coming through here, because not every project would have made it through these AMAs. I can assure you that. But also,
mate, you should. You know what? You should get as many in here as possible, man. You should just go and just get through as many as possible, because I love what you're doing here. I think it's brilliant. Putting people on the spot. Now, like I say, I'm not a technology guy. Sure. I'm not a tech guy. But if I can answer to the best of my ability, my brother, I will. I will try and answer it to the best of my ability.
And that's all we expect. And I can get behind anybody that does that, right?
100%. Thank you, my man.
So, and we try to keep everything very professional. And I hope you feel like I've been professional on here and haven't personally attacked you. It's more of just taking a deep dive into your project. Letting people.
Hey, listen, man. No.
Investors.
I totally understand. Did you work for the police by any chance?
I did not.
I'm joking, man. I'm only joking, David. I'm only joking, man. I'm joking.
But I was in the military, right? And I've been in business for a long time, in and out of crypto as well, right? So I've managed many employees all at one time. So I'm able to get the best out of those people just because I know what I'm looking for, and I take deep dives into them personally. Zabdi can contest to this. He gets to deal with me every single day, and I'm sure he enjoys it, and he will always say that. Right, Zabdi?
Zabdi, that's not what you told me before. What were you saying to me? Like, now I'm joking.
Hey, that's not true. I just said that he might not be very happy that you weren't in there.
Man. Nah,
That's
things
all I
come up
said.
and things happen. Well, listen, we're kind of getting short on time here. Here's what I want to do. I want to give
All
you
right,
the
brother.
last word for all of the people that are listening out there in those audience and all the different places that we share this. We want to give you the last word. What do you want people to know out there that are listening in about your project? What do you want them to know about you and your team and where you're going with this thing? So I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to give you the last question, then we'll close it on up or give you the last
All
chance
right,
to
man.
say, yep.
All I need to say is this: we are building something serious here. This team, the GLE company, what we've got going is going to change the world. You've probably heard me say it before. The people that are craziest enough to think that they can change the world are the ones that do it. Understand that. The ones that aim big, are scared of their dreams, they're the ones that do it. Now, this company and me are going to take it there. I've said it to you once before, and I'll say it to you again. We're the future. GLE is the future. I promise you that. Keep an eye on this space, guys. And I want to say thank you. I know there's not a lot of people in here right now, but I know the community is always behind me. We've got a solid community. Thank you very much to the community and investors. You guys are first and foremost every time. Remember that. Your family. I appreciate everything you're doing, the support. You're the foundations of this company, and you always will be. And I always have respect for every single one of you. And that's all. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate
And
that.
one more thing, David.
Yeah.
One more thing, David. Thank you very much for having me in, man. It's been a pleasure. Honestly, loved every minute of it, mate.
Well,
Brilliant. I will do it again fucking next week. 100%, mate. Give
maybe
me a
not next
shout.
week. We stay pretty busy, but we would love to have
Yeah.
you back and everything. You know, every so often, just let us know how you're doing. If you just want to drop down into our chat, I know you guys have set up your own group on here as well as the organization. We encourage you
Yeah.
guys to start using our platform to also start using moving your community over, bring those members over. We have tons of utility. All the stuff is for free. It's made to help projects like yours to grow and expand your user base because we come with a built-in user base that's growing every single day. So we encourage
I'll
you
tell
guys
you
to
what.
come over and take advantage of that.
Let's I'll give you a hand. I think what we'll do is we'll get the community to get behind you, get your hand. All right. Well, everybody needs to help each other in this space. All right. So if I can help you any way I can with my company, I'm going to help you. Okay. We'll try and push your app and the whole platform you've got here because I believe in it and it's good. So if any of you guys here in the community here stick on this platform, give this guy a hand. Let's share it out there. Okay, guys.
All right, sounds good, everybody. Well, thank you guys for joining us for an AMA over on Blockstar. Thank you for Green Life Energy for joining us today and helping us go into a deep dive into your project. And we will see you guys next time on another AMA with Blockstar.
Pleasure, mate.
Thank you.